Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between Brujos Brewing, and they are out of Portland, Oregon, and Grains of Wrath, and they are out of Camas, Washington, and this is their Coagula. So this is a dry hopped triple West Coast IPA that comes in 10.3% alcohol by volume, 90 IBUs at the time of review. And this can is approximately 6 weeks old. And I picked this one up at Halftime Beverage via halftimebeverage.com. So in the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that I picked up. And I grabbed 31 beers in total, 7 of which were from Brujos. 5 of those were hop forward, and 4 of them were West Coast hop forward beers. And this is the final hop forward beer as a whole from Brujos from that box. I only have the 2 lagers left, and did I save the best for last? I hope so. So this is a collaboration, like I said, with Grains of Wrath. This one is brewed with Simcoe, Columbus CGX, Citra, and Riwaka. And yeah, 6 weeks old. A lot of the beers that I reviewed from Brujos were kind of in the 6-week range for the most part, and most of them held up well. The only one that didn't was their Cuernitos, which was a double dry hopped West Coast Pale Ale that was just okay. This one, however, I'm hoping is quite delicious. A triple dry hopped, triple West Coast IPA at, oh, I think I spilled this one for the first time. I have to bust out the paper towels. We'll see here. I don't think so. I do not think so. I saved it. You know, I'm going to bust out that. Dude, what the fuck? What? That doesn't even smell like beer. That is wild. That does not smell like beer. You know what? This smells like a heavily fruited sour that you would drink that has like a stone fruit, like a peach or a mango in it. That's the nose. That's the nose I got after instantly pouring it. That is wild. That is crazy. I don't understand what's going on. So I got my Brasserie du Monde glass. That is the, you got the Pale Ale, single, double, and triple IPA. I don't use this glass that often, but I thought about it. Why not bust it out today? Why not? So yeah, that looks very akin to so many of the West Coast IPAs I've been reviewing lately. A little bit more, I'd say, old school in nature. It's a little bit darker, like that honey golden color. Decent carbonation, has about 3/4 of a finger, now about a half finger of a bright white soap sudsy head that kind of, you know, dissipated. You can see the shadow on my hand, but you cannot make it out specifically, so there's a little bit of like a clarity to it. Let's get a nose. Dude. This smells like someone took candied peach and candied mangoes and just combined them into a beer. Like this isn't like brewed with natural flavors or, you know, artificial flavors or fruit puree or anything. And this smells legit like peach gummy rings and like a mango high chew. Huge dankness too, like absolutely incredible. That's one thing about a lot of these new school West Coast IPAs. A lot of people ask me, or they mention what they think the difference is. What I personally think the difference is between a new school West Coast and old school is obviously the malt character. A lot of them just use like straight on Pilsner malt or like maybe like a two different kind of malts just to kind of prop up the hop character, where like old school malt bills are a little bit more complex and a little bit more like you get more like a bready caramel and whatnot. So it's lighter in the malt character, but the hops themselves, because they're using a lot of newer school hops, they're more bright with the fruit character, whether it's bright or candied or whatever. You still get a great bitterness and a great dryness, and a lot of times they can be, you know, piney, floral, and dank. But for the most part, it's the fruity kind of qualities to it, and this has it in spades. Again, peach gummy rings and mango. That's like the main thing I'm getting here. A little bit of underlying citrus, like a Tangelo, very juicy kind of citrus quality. But this is incredibly dank. This is like marijuana-esque, almost that garlic onion thing that I mentioned sometimes, old school Summit hops. And a honeydew melon rind, which I say a lot. And this one has Columbus, so it actually makes sense. The first time I ever got straight honeydew melon in a beer was like back in the mid-2010s. And it was from a local brewery in the West New York area, Swiftwater Brewing Company. And it was only Columbus hops, and it smelled like straight on. Honeydew melon, tasted like honeydew melon, was delicious. And every time I see Columbus, I think honeydew melon to me. This is not overly complex, but it's making my mouth water. It fucking seems so delicious, and I just want to drink it. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't really have to say much more other than it's fucking awesome because it's fucking awesome. This is 100% better than the Thou that I reviewed, which was the other West Coast Triple IPA. It wasn't triple dry hopped. Different malt or different hop bill. This just tastes fantastic. It's like peach gummy rings meet high chew mangoes with an underlying citrus tone, super dank finish, and like a moderately to like firm bitterness. Like it's pretty fucking fantastic. Holy fuck. I may have saved the best for last. This is scary. Like you can see the process of what I'm thinking here in my mind. Like what are we doing, right? Like what am I trying to think of? I'm trying to think of like how is this one of the least complex beers I've had from them, or like any kind of triple IPA. But how is it so fucking condensed into this deliciousness that I'm drinking in front of me? I don't know, but we're here. So body is low to medium full, which is great. 10.3%. I don't want it thick and chewy and over the top. I always say this in West Coast Triple IPAs, or most of the time. 3 things for a beer like this to really work for me. Can't be sickly sweet. It cannot, this is the key thing, can't be sickly sweet. It can't be overtly boozy. And now I would add a third component, because usually those are the top 2 things. The third component is I don't want it like bogging down the palate with like a huge, like viscous mouthfeel akin to 10.3% Imperial Stout. If I get 10.3% Imperial Stout and it's fucking incredibly thick and syrupy and like almost like motor oil, cool. This I don't. This is a bit lighter than what a 10.3% would dictate, and I like that. It makes it a little bit more drinkable and easy to drink and refreshing to some degree. The mouthfeel, it's crisp. It's moderately a touch over, moderately carbonated, smooth on the second half of the palate, no creaminess, old school mouthfeel for sure. Good carbonation. Listen, the taste is not at nothing compared to the vast majority of the triple IPAs I've reviewed over the past 6 months to a year. In terms of complexity, no. In terms of deliciousness, yes. The malt character, I get a very slight hint of white bread, maybe, and I might be stretching and reaching for that. It is, from front to back, I'll say it one more time, peach gummy rings meet high chew mango flavored, or mango high chews, with an underlying Tangelo kind of juiciness. That's front to back. As it finishes, though, it becomes more of like a pithy, rindy, bittering citrus. There's a little bit of like a floral pine, but there's a big dank quality, and this finish is bone dry with a firm bitterness. This is like moderately to firm bitter. So it's like, it's appropriate for this beer. It's definitely quite bitter. It hides the alcohol extremely well. Nothing on the palate indicates 10.3. Nice warming in the chest. Hides it extremely well. In my mind, I'm trying to think, does this compare to Triple Cuff from Wondrous? And it does. Is it as good as that beer? It is so close with that beer. This beer is very akin to that one in terms of quality, drinkability, hiding the alcohol. Fucking in that review, I said it was pure voodoo what they're doing with like hiding the alcohol. That's exactly what's happening here. 10.3% tastes like it's like 7.3%, like that Wolfen Throne. This is a little bit better than that Wolfen Throne. The Wolfen Throne, it's a hard word, Wolfen Throne was impressive because of 7.3, I think, percent, or 7.4, and it drank much bigger than that, more impactful. But this is just better, like as taste, but I don't know. I mean, one more sip and then I'm locking a rating. So again, for a triple, it really crosses the 3 off the list for me. Not sickly sweet. In fact, if anything, this leans more dry and bitter than sweet. It does have a nice sweetness up front because of the malt, but it really balances out with that firm dryness and almost firm bitterness. The alcohol is well hidden outside in the chest, which usually I get a big warming with a 10+% beer. It's whether it hides on the alcohol on the palate, and it does. And then the third thing is the body, and I think the body's a little bit lighter to make me enjoy it a little bit more, and it's more of a... This is going to fucking sound stupid. Turn off the review now, please. Just turn it off. Don't even listen. Don't even wait for a rating. Just turn the fucking thing off. It makes this beer quaffable. Dare I say. Is it really quaffable? It might be. I don't know. This is one of the best beers that has the least amount of complexity that I've had in a hot minute. Especially if a hop forward like West Coast beer. Listen, Brujos gets a lot of hype, and I think it's well deserved. I've had now, 8, 9, 10 beers from them, and I will say that they do. I think more like 8 beers, but they do a great job. That Cuernitos was the only one that it really didn't do it for me, but the rest of them have, and I'm gonna give this appropriate score. So I'm gonna give Brujos and Grains of Wrath their Coagula. I love the can art of this one. 4.75 out of 5. I gave the Wondrous Triple Cup a 4.8. This is just underneath it, but they're both there. 4.75, 4.8 doesn't fucking matter. It does not. It doesn't matter one bit. It's just my ratings. Don't take them personal. Why am I singing? Probably because I'm average. Anyway, price point availability. Here's where it goes a bit wonky. If you're not by the brewery, you can't get it. I picked this one up, like I said, halftime beverage. $9.99 a can, so $10 a can. Would I pay that again for this? I think I might. I know that sounds stupid. I've had some conversation with you guys about the price points of Brujos beers in the comment section of the previous reviews. And a lot of you are like, I'd pay that for a world-class beer. And some of you say, I like Brujos stuff, but I maybe like once a year, once in a while I buy it. That's where I am. It's like, am I going to make a halftime beverage purchase every couple months if they get Brujos? No, I can't. There's no way. I'm not paying $10 for every single can that I pick up from them. However, like once a year, yeah, maybe once a year I'd pick up Brujos stuff if they got a drop and pick up, half dozen beers and whatever they got in stock and pay, $9, $10 a can, sure. But this is not something I would do regularly. Now, at the brewery, this is probably like $28 a 4-pack max. So you're talking $7 a can. If you try to trade for it on secondary, you probably have to have some good beer. And if you buy it, I hear like a lot of these go for like $15, some of them closer to 20. So I'm fine with paying $10 from a halftime beverage and having them shipped right to my house in a couple days. That's cool. So brings me availability. It's at Brujos. And again, halftime got some. I don't know if Tavor got some. They might have. They might be starting to see some drips and drabs outside of Oregon. We'll see. But this is a fucking delicious beer. I can't stress that enough. It is the final hop forward beer from Brujos that I'm reviewing from that beer mill. And it is the best of the hop forward beers. Wolf and Throne is right underneath it, but it is a triple, so it's kind of, again, unfair to compare this to 7.3% West Coast IPA. I think the Wolf and Throne was more impressive, but this tastes better. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. By the time I post this review, because I'm reviewing a lot of these back-to-back days, for my reviews, I usually have a good week to week and a half cushion where I'm ahead by about a week and a half. And if it's something I really want to push out right away, I'll push something back. So you're going to see a lot of these 2-3 weeks after I actually reviewed the beer. I'm reviewing this 6 weeks old. I would not be surprised if you see this 2 or 3 weeks after I review this one, because I don't like post. I like couple hop forward beers a week, like 2 or 3. I don't like posting them every day. So you're going to see this probably towards early to mid-April, and I'm reviewing this one mid to late March. What's today? Is it I think it's the 19th or 20th. You're going to probably see this towards the end of the month or early April, I would say. Regardless, you're not going to see this when I'm reviewing it, and not within a week or two, probably 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just kind of, whatever. Fucking 35-minute review. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Brujos, the beers I've had so far, is a win. To see if I really enjoy them as a brewery as a whole, can't wait to get into those two lagers. I think one is like a Czech Pale lager, I think. Another one's like a Munich Dunkel style lager. I'm curious to see what those are all about. Anyway, I'm shutting this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.